Hey guys, Emily Muccianti here, and I am so excited to be able to announce to you something new starting today that has been in the works for a little while and is a little bit outside of my comfort zone because it's so new. But I think it's really going to help you make some really informed decisions about what you are bringing into your intervention program. But first, remember to like, subscribe, and share. That tells all of the little bots out there that this is worth viewing. Please send this video to someone that might be needing to see it, and make sure that you leave a comment and hit that little notification button so you don't miss a thing. All right, so here's what's happening. Let me start from the beginning. Back in August, I went to the Big Sky Literacy Summit, which, if you've been watching me, you know it's my favorite conference in the entire world. And I was really fortunate to be able to connect with the team at 95% Group. Now, I have a long and beautiful history with 95%. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about that and then let you know kind of where it has led to. So back, I think it was around 2016, I attended a seminar, a 2-day seminar up in the Bay Area that was presented by Susan Hall and Stephanie Staller. Susan Hall is the founder of 95% Group, and she and Stephanie went to create a session called Bridging the Gap. And this is where I came in as I was a seasoned interventionist. I had been in intervention for some time, but I was looking to learn how to take my data and really expand and extend what I knew and how I could use that to make instructional decisions. So I attended this. It was a fantastic 2-day seminar. I was so happy. But that's where I met Susan Hall. Now, Susan Hall shared her story about her son who was dyslexic and really kind of started her journey to learn about structured literacy and then go on to create a company that developed these amazing products designed for students that struggled to learn to read. And it was really all founded in her journey as a mother. And I know many of us out there have kids ourselves that struggle with certain things, and it can really create this passion. And that really spoke to me. One of the best sessions I had ever been on. Fast forward a little bit, a year or two later, perhaps, and Susan released her book, The 10 Success Factors for Literacy Intervention. Now, I also have a video all about this book because I always said that if I were to write a book, this would be it. It is so aligned with what I know, what I've experienced, and what I have researched myself. And she makes a really practical guide to how to develop some really amazing reading intervention programs. And mine was already structured very much as she had described. So again, I felt connected to her. Fast forward a few more years when I was beginning to work with reading intervention teachers, perhaps like yourself, we did a book club, a book study, and we studied Susan's book. But guess what? She was kind enough to come in and actually speak to our group in our last session. So I have had this connection with her, very, very ancillary, so to speak, but she was always so kind and so knowledgeable. And in the midst of all of this that I've already explained, in my reading lab, I started to use some of 95% Group's products. Namely, I started with the Phonics Lesson Library, the Phonics Chip Kit. There were some additional materials that I was using. And so I got to actually experience the design and the structure of the resources that 95% Group had created. So if you've seen any of my videos about resources, I always say the line, anything from 95% Group is good. I've got some of my favorites here and there, and I've got some others that are outside of 95% Group, but Honestly, anything from 95% group in my experience had been really great. Okay, so fast forward a little bit more. And what happened was I met the team and connected with them at Big Sky this year. I was able to chat with Laura Stewart, who is now, I believe, the CEO or the president. I don't know what their terms are and their titles and all of that, but a delightful, knowledgeable, brilliant woman herself and their marketing team. And so we started talking about how I receive questions all the time from interventionists and those of you working in this space about what you need to use to help accelerate the growth of your students. And something you didn't know, but I had been kind of digging around with looking into some places where, hey, would you send me some materials so that I could review them and share? And it's very hard to get that done. But I got to say, 95% group was like, hey, let's talk about this. Let's see what we can do to help you, meaning me, bring the information to you, my audience, about what they have to offer. So we have actually entered into a partnership that is going to last for the next several months because they were so kind and generous to send to me a number of different resources that I am going to be able to review. They're going to allow me to go through the training. I'm going to be able to show you some inside information that is from my perspective, and it's very much, they're just amazing. It's really, they want me to be unfiltered in what I share with you. So I love that because you're going to see me being authentically me, giving you my exact insight and opinion, telling you what I think is amazing, and telling you what I think might need some tweaking or some supplementing or those kinds of things. So I have been starting to kind of drop some teaser things on YouTube Shorts and Instagram so that you could see some of the unboxing that I was doing. My office is a mess. Behind me are nothing but boxes. It's a real mess. But I'm so very excited to be able to bring this to you. Now, today, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a sneak peek into one of the first resources that we are going to look at, and that is the Phonics Lesson Library. I wanted to start with this one because this is one of the first things that I used in my program. And so I feel most comfortable knowing it, and I could bring it to you without having to dive in yet on the training and some of that. So what I'm going to do is drop in a video linked in here that is going to share with you just kind of a first look and walking through, thumbing through that, some of what they have. And I hope it gives you some, I guess, incentive to keep following me on this. I've created a new playlist for 95% group, so I hope that you follow that, and we will go ahead and let me show you what they have to offer inside the Phonics Lesson Library. Okay, here we go with our first impression of Phonics Lesson Library, and I have to tell you, this is something that I have used a great deal in my reading intervention programs, my reading labs. So I do have some experience here, although this is, I'm sure, an updated version. So you can see, first of all, that each lesson comes in a little pack and they are hooked. And what this is designed to do is so that you can keep them like on a tension rod or some sort of a rod, and teachers or paras, depending on what lesson they're working on, can just go and grab the lesson that they need for that week, and everything is in the bag, which is really awesome. Okay, so we've got, oops, sorry, making lots of noise. In addition to the, this is basically designed to be a week, if I recall, and I am going to review some of the lesson dynamics and specifics so that I can give you updated information, but I absolutely love this product. Phonics Lesson Library, you can see here we have skills 13.1. These are predictable vowel teams, single syllable. And this is from the multi-syllable skills. So this is more of the advanced area. And then it has some information here. There are some cards. And I know when I used this before, this coordinated somewhat with my phonics chip kit. And we'll see if that still does. So we're going to go through this in just a second, but I want to show you that we do have some additional information. So let me just kind of slide through here. You can see these are fluency sheets that are coming out, which means we're going to be practicing both with these are nonsense words. And what's nice is we have it should be, I believe, 5 copies so that you do not have to make copies. So here is a fluency sheet that you can stick into a page protector if you want. I would always recommend everything go in a page protector. And if you're working with a group of 5, you can just hand them out and everybody has the same one. So you don't have to make copies. So what's nice about this product is that you've got a ton of time-saving pieces in here. So here's for this particular lesson, and you can see again, these are nonsense words. We're going to make sure that the student has mastery of those skills. And then we've got here, this one goes with the next lesson in the week. So these are fluency sheets, okay? And what's nice is there's 5 of each. Make sure I'm trying to keep everything in order so that I can organize this and bring it back to you when we do some additional digging into this one. Now, here you see that we have a progress monitoring table and graph. Again, now it looks like this one there is one, so you would have to make copies of this one for your students. So you're going to have one of these for each student, and there's a place for you to graph so that the students can see their growth. I believe this is a new piece. This was not in my original. I don't think so. So this is kind of exciting. Again, just a first glance. We've got the words, the phrases that are 2 to 3 words, 4+ words, sentences, and then there are some passages. So we can do this progress monitoring within this particular skill. All right. So then let's see what we have here. We have, trying to see if I can, phonics review grid, days 1 and 2, days 3 and 4. So again, see, this particular, the Phonics Lesson Library is one pack that is meant to be done for the week so that you are just pulling these and using them. These are actual real words. These are the sight words practicing that you are using. These are cards. So, and they are perforated so that you can collect them, clip them, and get ready to use those and keep them in that envelope or that plastic pack, and that's already done. Again, you know, some of these things, I know sometimes when we're looking at purchasing resources, some of the cheaper, more, I don't know, even free stuff, there's so much setting up that you have to do yourself that, man, your time is worth more. So we have a number of different cards here. These look like these can probably go into pocket charts. They're big enough. And then, nice, we have smaller versions that I think, okay, check it out. Colored version. So here's a blue, a set of blue, a set of green. They're the same words, so every student gets a colored set. Again, you don't have to create it. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. I cannot even tell you. Here are some of the gestures that go along with the skill that we are using. And from what I remember using this a few years ago, this is, you know, we want to keep this engaged and give kids kind of an indication of what we're looking at, and a gesture goes along with that. So we can see this is going to also be perforated. This is for our pocket chart. And then, okay, this is new, and I have to say, I love this piece. This didn't come that I remember. I didn't have access to this. There are now decodable passages and a parent connection that you can make that will go along with and can be sent home if you want to use the parent connection. There's information for your parents about what you're doing. There's the passage so that the student can have some additional practice, and it comes in English and in Spanish. Lovely. I love that. Let me go again to the table of contents. I'm always flipping backward because I'm using my left hand. So here we have the passage 3, the bathtub race, whale find, and so on. And it looks like there will be some questions that you can discuss with your children if you're sending this home with your kiddos. Okay, I think this is just a great, great addition. Now, let me show you this. Decodables, one of my pet peeves with decodable passages, especially, for our older kids, is when there's too much picture support in a decodable passage. The purpose of a decodable is to ensure that a student is using their phonics skills. And if we have too much picture support, we're giving them lots of opportunities to guess. And I've never liked that. And so I'm going to show you, because I pulled a different one out, and I love this. There is no picture support. Now, remember, pictures have a place. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but here our purpose is to ensure that our students are using their phonics skills in order to decode the words. And so we are not giving picture support. I think that's great. Now, if you have decodables, there are a lot of great decodables out there that may have picture support. I would cover the picture and then use it later, especially for your EL students. Pictures are great for ELs, but that's not the purpose of this. So we can see we've got the skill here, passage. It looks like we've got a couple of passages, passage 2, passage 3 for the same skill. So there are 3 passages for each particular skill. All right, now let me go through and, sorry, I'm making a big old mess, I know. Thank you for your patience. Now, this is where the magic happens. So another part about our student or our teachers, when you have a number of different groups that are working on different skills and you are prepping and planning, it is a nightmare. You have so many plates in the air that it makes it very, very difficult to plan. And what I love about this resource is that this is meant to be this one skill, and it's going to be the book that you would work out of for a week, 5 days. So if you see your kids fewer than 5 days a week, you would stretch that. And it lays everything out. So I'm going to, again, give you a deeper look at the lesson, but I want you to see what it looks like. So here we have, there's going to be some, obviously following the gradual release of responsibility, the I do, we do, you do. We have goals here that are listed. Now, this is the part I was talking about. This information, not information, these pictures are showing you that this is the piece that comes from something called the phonics chip kits. And it's a separate resource, at least it was when I had it. So this is something in addition, this is an optional step. So it is optional if you have the phonics chip kits. And if you don't have it, then I'm sure there is a workaround here. But this is really just helping us to develop that phonemic awareness, making sure that our students can hear those individual sounds in those multisyllabic words. Okay, so day 1, you can see day 1 goes on. So let me look at the skills here. So we're going to, can you hear the sound? So this is all phonemic awareness, right? All phonemic awareness. That's the first part. Can you identify the pattern in the word? Okay, so we're looking here. It's got a OI. We've got a diphthong there. Can you sort the cards by syllable types? Now, this is, remember, one of the advanced skills or lessons. So this is going to build on itself here. We've got the syllable reading accuracy. And again, it tells us how much time approximately to dedicate. And I don't know about you, but sometimes give or take, right? These are recommendations. We've got gestures to ensure that kids understand this is all built into the program and what those mean. And then day one. So I'm not sure if this, I think it's more of a, let's see, a 40-minute lesson perhaps. I'm looking at the time. So we've got 18 minutes, 2 minutes. So we've got 20 minutes for that part, 10 minutes. Okay, so we're looking at about a 30-minute lesson. Now, and all of these things would have, would be done at a pretty appropriate clip. So then we move on. We go into day 2. It's got your syllable list. We've got, again, syllable reading. We're going and diving deeper into that skill where we're looking at some word building, and we've got some sound boxes here to use. Day 3, we are moving into teaching a new concept, and it's utilizing some of those cards that we are asking about. Day 4, oh no, we're still on day 3. Okay, identifying some patterns. Again, working a lot with nonsense words. Sentence dictation. We're going to review the skill, teach the new concept, syllable reading accuracy, word building again, syllable reading fluency with those lists that were already given to you so you don't have to make copies, sentence dictation. Day 5, this is the review, syllable reading accuracy, word building, sentence dictation. And then it's got the word list here at the end. Oops. Syllable set 1, syllable set 2, real word patterns. And then it doesn't indicate it here, but I would follow up then with your decodable passages. Let's see, this one I think says for skill 10, skill 11, skill 12. So we've got skill 13, skill 13.1, skill 13, and we've got 3 passages in here to work through when we are working in those weeks where we're focused on that. So I'm going to go to that page, which is page 20. And here we've got a lot of those multisyllabic words that we've been working on with a decodable passage. Again, I would like to see, and this would probably be something to find at the website, how we can order these. Like, do they come in group sets? How is that doing? But we are going to spend some time digging into Phonics Lesson Library because, speaking from experience, I know how robust and awesome this particular resource is. And I hope to give you some additional insight as you are going in and getting ready to purchase resources yourself. Hope that helps. So there you have it, your first sneak peek inside of what the Phonics Lesson Library can bring to you. Now, this is not the only thing we're going to do with this. We're going to actually dive into it, but I wanted to give you some things to kind of just know what the broad sense of the program is and what it looks like. And so for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be bringing you some additional information. If you're not following me on Instagram, Reading Diva 06, follow me there as well, because I'm going to be adding some short things that might give you a little bit of additional tips there. And I'm super excited to bring this to you. Now, what I want from you is I want to hear, have you had any experience with the Phonics Lesson Library or any other materials from 95% group? What is your experience? What questions do you have? bring me these questions because those are the things that I'm going to really dig into as we go through this series to be able to really help you make good decisions when you're purchasing materials. Okay, so I hope you're as excited about this as I am. I'm really excited and it's going to be probably something new for me, but we'll see where it goes. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Drop me those comments, send me those emails, and thank you for what you do. Bye for now.